Hello everyone. Are you ready for another photo assignment? This time the good folks at Fred Miranda have tasked us with photographing sorrow. My vision for sorrow was to make a pretty photo of a weeping willow tree. To that end, I met up with my friend Bruce at Ford Park. Looking through old photos, I found a couple that fit the theme. This one from a cemetery in town, and this one from Santuario de Chimayo in New Mexico. Revisiting the cemetery in town was my backup plan in case I didn't find anything at the park. Here's a photo of Bruce looking moody in the early morning light, and a selfie of me that I thought was sheer perfection. But let's head to Lightroom now and see how I made my entry for sorrow. After auto adjust, I brought the shadows down and set dehaze to +2. For cropping, I went with a 1:1 ratio and lined up the weeping branches on the 1/3 guidelines. I brought up the contrast, considered black and white, and that was it. Here's the final photo. I was very happy with how it looked like lines of tears running down a face. I posted my photo to Fred Miranda and managed to get a couple of votes, but placed 5th out of the 5 entries. Congrats to everyone who participated. Thank you for watching, and I hope today gives you something worth photographing. Hello friends, it's time for another photo assignment. This time the good folks at Fred Miranda have tasked us with photographing tools. My first stop was at Collinsworth Farms. The history of Redlands is steeped in the world of orange groves. I've photographed the roadside stall at Collinsworth Farms back in 2022 and knew they had a cool collection of old farming equipment on display. I couldn't pass up the light streaming through the front and rear windows of this old truck. The golden hour light on this old windmill caught my eye. Because it was in motion, it gave the sense of a tool at work. This set it apart from my other options. On the drive home, I passed the historic Green Spot Road Bridge and decided to stop for another walkabout. I thought this was a very wholesome scene and had to make a photo. And as I waited for the sun to set, I took this photo of one of my favorite tools, a wristwatch. I tried to photograph the sun behind one of these fancy lamps, but just missed the mark. Back home and in Lightroom we go. After doing an auto adjust, I cropped to my liking. I wish my shutter speed had been higher to prevent the motion blur of the blades. And lastly, I made my usual fine-tuning by bringing the exposure down, the contrast up, the shadows down, and dehaze up. Here's a look at the final result. I posted my photo to Fred Miranda and managed to get a couple of votes, but did not place in the top 5. I didn't win a medal, but it was a privilege to go out for a walk, witness a beautiful sunset, and share my adventure with all of you. Thank you for watching, and I hope today gives you something worth photographing. Hi, it's Peter, and today I'm at Orange Street Alley to make one great photo of umbrellas. I'm using the Nikon ZR, a 40mm f2 lens, and an ND filter. Will I find something good enough to compete in Fred Miranda's weekly photo challenge? Stick around and find out. Here are the photos that didn't make the cut, and a couple that didn't fit the theme, but caught my eye. This is the raw version of the photo I chose to submit. Editing took a while. I fiddled with nearly every setting, but knew right away that the ruby shape would be my centerpiece. Every edit and crop was aimed at making it pop. And here's the final photo. I thought the shutter drag would really make my photo distinctive. I posted my photo and received enough votes to come in 4th place. Though I didn't medal, I am grateful to have been able to take a nice walk in a beautiful place, meet up with a couple of photography friends, and share that small adventure with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope today gives you something worth photographing. Hi, it's Peter, and today I'm at my town's No Kings protest to make one great urban photo. My vision is to photograph a protester in front of City Hall. I'm using the Nikon ZR and the 40mm f2 lens. Will I find something good enough to compete in Fred Miranda's weekly photo challenge? Stick around and find out.
No, we got to do something. I don't follow. Oh, there you are. Hi. Signs in. Thank you.
Perfect. Here are the photos that I considered, but didn't make the cut. The first is a photo of my in-laws and their friends. The second is a quick snap I took of a fellow photographer who was wielding a Hasselblad H-body and lens. This is the raw version of the photo I chose to submit. The edit was quick. I chose black and white, then did an auto adjust. I made small changes to exposure, shadows, contrast, and dehaze. Then I hastily removed a distracting streetlight. And here's the final photo. I was happy to see my vision realized. I'm nervous asking strangers for their photo, which is why I didn't take the time to do a better job of framing. But I couldn't have asked for a better sign than the Imagine quote. I posted my photo and received enough votes to come in third place. On top of winning bronze, I'm grateful to have been able to take a walk filled with energized citizens, meet some great new dogs, and share this small adventure with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope today gives you something worth photographing.